Hour number 3 in progress. We are laying down the law. I'm your host, Steve Foster, alongside the all-pro NFL quarterback, Jeff Blake, looking as cool as a fan up in this piece.
I was cold as a fan a second ago. Good now, though.
Somebody put the AC on.
I walked in, it was hot, then it got chilly.
Hey, man, we regulating.
Yeah.
Warren G, we regulating. We were talking, and we're going to get into some fantasy football a little bit later. However, we're going to go to our Cowboys Insider. The Texans are off this week.
Yes.
So Jay Foreman enjoying his weekend along with some folks healing up.
That's why I'm concerned about my
fantasy team, right?
Yeah, because my running back is off.
Yeah, running back is off. Well, let's not have any running backs be off by the Dallas Cowboys as we bring in our Cowboys Insider, former Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys and current director of pro personnel and longtime friend and teammate of mine as well in college, Judd Garrett. Judd, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. If people don't know, they will know now that listen to us. You did get to play some professional football over in London for the London Monarchs. You actually led the league in receiving.
Yeah, I was over there the inaugural season in '91 and also played in '92. Actually, we had a really good year. The first year we won 11-1 and we won the World Bowl, and it was just a great time to be over there. We got a lot of support from the fans in London, and it was a really great season, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So it's good to see that they're still playing American football over there.
Jeff Blake.
Judd, since you played over there in London, is it going to be hard for any NFL team, not just the Cowboys, but for any NFL team to go over there and prepare for a week over there and just going through I'm sure they had festivities and things they needed to do and things that they were doing while they were over there. NFL had set up some stuff, I'm sure. Is it tough for them to go out and play a game like that on a Sunday like today?
I think it is. I think the one thing you want to do as a player, and I know coaches try to get this done, is you try to keep everything as normal as possible week in and week out. You try to get everybody into a rhythm. So having to go overseas, the 9-hour flight, the jet lag, and now you're working out of a hotel, that upsets your rhythm. That upsets just your familiarity of everything. So I think you really have to do really have to be strong mentally to deal with it. But it's the same for both. It's the same for both teams. I mean, Jacksonville has to.
Well, not really, Judd, because nobody want any autographs from the Jacksonville Jaguars. You understand what I'm saying? So that Dallas Cowboy lobby is packed. You understand?
I got you. I got you.
It's a little bit different for the Cowboys worldwide. So so they want to see them Dallas Cowboys. So that's my point. It's got to be tough for those guys to prepare mentally as well as physically.
It almost
feels like I think it is. I think it is. It takes them out. It takes them out of the rhythm. And again, I'm not over there, so I can't tell you exactly how it's been going on this week. But the reports I've heard is that there is a little bit of of a circus atmosphere around the whole thing.
Exactly.
Almost like those old time American Bowls they used to have back in the '90s. But those are exhibition games. They weren't regular games. So it will be a little bit difficult for them to get prepared normally. But they're professionals and they got to do it. And this is a must win, so they got to be ready. So it's on them.
We're talking with Judd Garrett, our Cowboys Insider, former Super Bowl champion with the Cowboys and now director of pro personnel. Judd, I learned of a stat, and I mentioned this in the first hour with regards to the Cowboys, 9-11 against rookie quarterbacks over the last few seasons, and that was surprising. Maybe we do need to 500 and get 2 more wins to make it 11-11 on that win column. But that I would not like to see Bortles get a win over in London against Dallas today.
Well, I wasn't aware of that stat, but you're just looking at him and studying him leading up to this week. He's a very talented player. He's a young player, and I've seen over the course of the season him getting better and better. And he played a pretty good football game last week against Cincinnati. He threw the big pick late in the game. They were down by 10. They had the ball in the red zone, had a chance to make it a one-score game. He tried to force that ball. But other than that, he played a pretty good football game. It was his best game last week, so he has been improving. He is a talented player. There's a reason why he was picked so high. So, I mean, we just can't take it lightly. Oh, we got a young guy. We'll beat him. He seems to be coming into his own, and we got to be prepared for him.
Absolutely. On the flip side, I think the offense, Tony Romo listed as probable. Seems like he's practiced now for 2 days in a row. You still have to keep Brandon Wheaton in your hip pocket in case you have a situation like Washington. But I think it's a steady diet of what you and I completely like in a game plan, which is handoffs to the running back.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been our formula for success this year is we establish the run early and get into our play action game. I think it's going to be no different. The one thing about Jacksonville, their strength of their defense is their front four. That's their best players. They got some athletic linebackers who can go find the ball. So they're good against the run. I think their weaknesses is their back end. So if we're able to establish the run, slow down their pass rush, get their linebackers biting on play action, we should be able to get into our passing game and make some plays down the field if we're able to do that. Now, if they're stoning us in the run and then they can pin their ears back and rush the passer on third down, it's going to be a totally different story. So we need to establish that run early. We need to make some plays that way, get those eight-man boxes, and then work the play-action game off of that and exploit their secondary.
Yeah, and would you want to shorten this game then? Keep Tony Romo healthy. You get a bye week after you come back from London, which is going to be very welcome.
Much needed.
Yeah, yeah. So, what about that? And I know, Jeff, you've been banged up over your career at times. Love to see that bye week to have an opportunity.
Definitely. I'm calling run plays all day myself. Hey, Coach, don't you want to run this one? Coach, don't you want to run this one? Jeff, it's 3rd and 10. We can run a draw.
We'll say, Jeff, and even if he doesn't, you go audible.
Man, so, plus it's cold there, in London right now, so, going into that cold weather as well, you want to be able to establish a running game late in the season.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no question about it. For a lot of reasons. Obviously, it's been our formula for success. Also, we want to obviously don't put too much on Romo because, he's still playing injured. And then also what we've been doing is keeping our defense off the field and not putting them in too many bad situations where they could get exposed a little bit. So, for a variety of reasons, we need to establish that run early and everything else will build off of that.
Absolutely. What about the defense? There are going to be a couple of substitutions in, but I really think that they've been playing well in this 2014 season.
Yeah, we've been playing well. If you look at it, the thing about Jacksonville's offense and that we got to be, on top of is they run a lot of what I call loose plays. You're going to see the fly sweeps. You're going to see the naked throwbacks. You're going to see the bubble screen, then the fake bubble screen and go. They have a lot of those types of deceptive-type plays. They run a lot of screen passes, a lot of double screens and things like that. So they're not just lining up and running right at us. You're going to get a lot of these what I call loose plays that, if you're not, really on top of your fundamentals and on top of your keys and your reads, guys are going to be running wide open and they can make some plays that way. So they don't have great talented players. They got some good players over there, but they don't have one guy where you say we got to double him and take him out of the game. They got some good players, and they run all this type of oddball type plays that we got to be on top of, or they'll hit us for some big games. So I think we can do it. I think we're going to be prepared for it week in and week out. We have been sound, and we've been true to our keys and our reads. But this week more than anything, we got to be playing sound football.
Absolutely. We agree, and we almost inside about 45 minutes until kickoff over in London Wembley Stadium. Judd Garrett, our Cowboys Insider, we certainly appreciate the time today. You did not make the trip, so that saves you some time, change, and jet lag. We hope you enjoy this week with your duties and everything. Travel safe as well.
All right, Floss. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're going to take a sidebar and come back with one of the crowd and fan favorites, Julie Bueller's check in on the NFL scene, our fantasy football. We've established that Ryan Willett doesn't show up when Jeff Blake and I beat him. All of a sudden he becomes
he has the coach in Houston.
Witness protection or something like that.
Yeah, I got a game in Houston this week. I'm gonna be able to show up.
So maybe he'll call in if he hears us griping about him. But you can do the same thing on 210-656-ESPN, 210-656-3776, right here all the way up to noon, and the Dallas Cowboys kickoff right here on Laying Down Low.